Hello, welcome back to Cooking with Frenchy, cooking and baking made easy. In today's recipe I'm going to share with you a beautiful classic, a sauce which is called the Mornay sauce. Very ideal to put on lobster, but also any seafood, crabs or prawns you can have, but you can also put them on eggs or on vegetable or just on top of your roasted veggies as a gratin. So that's an easy and simple recipe. It's come from the bechamel sauce. It's what we call a derivative sauce. So the bechamel sauce is the mother French sauce, and the Mornay sauce we had few little ingredients in at the end just to make it what it is. So before we go, make sure you subscribe, you check my notification setting, you also check under the video, you will have the link to the full recipe. So let's get cooking. To make the bechamel sauce, which will transform into Mornay sauce, what we need is typical ingredients: butter, flour, onions, bay leaf, and that's what's going to make the Mornay, the bechamel, the Mornay. Milk, always use white ground pepper for white sauce, and I put a little bit of nutmeg, and later on we're going to check the seasoning with the salt. First of all, I need to warm up my milk and infuse the bay leaves and the roughly chopped onions. Put that in a saucepan and we'll bring that to a boiling, simmering motion. We don't want it boiling in too hot, we want it just warm. Meanwhile, I'm gonna grab another saucepan and make what we call a roux. A roux, that's what's going to make your sauce thick. So if you want a runny sauce, you want about 50 grams of butter and 50 grams of flour for a liter of milk, which is what we got here. If you want something a little bit thicker, to go either in a vol au vent or a pie or a tart or quiche style dishes, you need to have 100 grams of butter and 100 grams of flour. Saucepan, butter, and let it melt. So meanwhile, I'm going to give a little bit more flavor to my milk with half a teaspoon of nutmeg. I always work with a whisk for my bechamel sauce and Mornay sauce, just to make sure we avoid any lumps. Make sure we melt the butter properly and correctly, and we don't want it to take too much color because we want it as a white sauce. Bechamel sauce is also called the white sauce. It's time to add your flour all at once and give it a little bit of a stir, just like this. Switch off the heat for now until the milk is ready. As you can see, my milk is warmed up. You can see the little steam coming up, it's enough. So I'm going to start to take a little bit of the liquid and add to my roux. First of all, really dilute the roux with a little bit of the milk without heating up. You see how it gets thick already. So we had some more milk. If you put all the milk at once, you will have lumps. Hence, it's important to just, dilute a little bit at a time. Go right to the side bottom of the pan. There's no heat as yet. This is a very traditional way to make the bechamel sauce, the white sauce. Use a strainer. And then you add all the milk. Again, slowly at first. Now, an important thing that my students seems to generally forget, it's you need to cook this. That means it needs to boil, and at least for a minute or two. That will allow the starch of the flour to cook, so your sauce will be stable, it will be thick, and it won't taste like flour. So, heat on. And whilst you're cooking it a little bit further, make sure you are whisking. Now bubbles are forming here and there. So that's what we call getting to the boiling point. When we reach that boiling point, that's when we cook for another minute. And that's done. You just watch the making of a bechamel sauce, otherwise called white sauce, one of the French mother sauce. So here our bechamel sauce is done. Let's transfer and cool down. Sure, you scrape everything out of the saucepan. Now you have your bechamel sauce here. See it start to form a skin as it cools down. To make this a Mornay sauce for your lobster, vegetable, or anything you want, you need to add some grated cheese. Best if you have Gruyere, which is emmental cheese. If you don't, cheddar. For a liter, I'm using about 120 grams of. Mix that. You will also need egg yolks, but I can't put the egg yolks straight away as this is too hot. Egg yolks are going to cook by 70 degrees. So if I put them too early in the sauce, they are becoming yellow scrambled eggs. Oh, so cheesy now. Look at that. Yum. So I can also add a little bit of white pepper. Salt. Depending on the cheese you use, don't put too much salt before you taste it. If the bowl is too hot, it's over 55 degrees. If you can't hold it, it means it's too hot. So wait a little bit before you put your egg yolks. Now that your half Mornay, the cheese is inside now and it's nice and shiny and velvety, we can add our egg yolks. Get a good mix, twist the whisk to the side, and your sauce should be good. Last things to do before, look at that shine. Last things we need to do is to taste it. Flavors are beautiful. There's enough salt and pepper. I don't need to touch it. I'm just gonna cool it down in different containers and put it in the fridge. Like this, it's ready for my lobster Mornay, or like I'm going to show you later on, a little petit four with already made vol au vent case with prawns, just ready for my Christmas platter.